Sunshine 96.7 FM, WMTB LP St. Petersburg. Radio St. Pete, where local music lives.
Hello, St. Petersburg. Hello, Tampa Bay. How we doing, beaches? Happy Friday, Radio St. Pete. This is the Marco Radio Happy Hour Show, and we are up next.
Hey, I'm Damon Fowler, and nothing gives me the blues more than listening to the Marco Radio Happy Hour Show.
Okay, happy Friday, folks. My name is Mark, and this is the Marco Radio Happy Hour Show.
Show. Sorry, too
Usually
many jobs.
Show. Anyway, we, and I mean all of us, are coming to you live as we do every Friday evening, 6 to 8 p.m. from our Treehouse Studio, located in the historic Jungle Prada neighborhood of St. Petersburg, Florida.
Hi.
Yay.
Hey, hello.
I'm used to having Steph on the other end of that mic. That's anyway. So here's the thing. You fine folks are checking us out on either Radio St. Pete online or on Sunshine 96.7 FM Radio St. Pete, where what? Local music lives. So in the studio this evening, we've got me, Steph, our boy Elroy, okay, and we've got the Ernestine Black Band, which consists of Sarah, Scott, Tyler, and Noel.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Say hi,
So-
boys. How's it going?
So here's the interesting thing about this evening. This is the very first time here on the Marco Radio Happy Hour Show that we've ever attempted to have a live band here in studio for our show. And if we pull this off, it will be monumental. It will be historical. It will be something that will go down in history. One of the things that I want to say is before we started the show, you guys started doing a sound check. And what I want to say is when you guys become famous, please, please, please don't forget this moment in time.
Oh, we won't.
We'll do it every year.
Yeah, come back.
Yeah, this is going to be something else. So one of the things I have to ask right off the bat is who the hell is Ernestine?
All right, good question. And hopefully I can clear this up once and for all because I feel like a lot of folks are very confused.
It's me.
Yeah, it's been Scott this whole time. That's his
I
alter
figured
ego.
it was one of you.
No, actually, a lot of people think that my name is Ernestine Black. It is not. My name is Sarah. My great-grandmother's name is Ernestine Black.
Okay.
And she's no longer with us, and I figured she wouldn't mind me stealing her name. So
Well, I think it's a great name. I think it's a great band name.
it's identity theft.
Yeah.
For a good cause.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, I think it's fantastic, and I don't know. I think it's listen. Bands have a lot of different names, and this is certainly an original name, Ernestine Black. So I dig that. Another thing I thought about is I'm hoping that you guys didn't pass up a really cool gig to do this tonight with us.
Oh no.
This was the coolest gig we
This
could
was
do.
the coolest gig.
Okay. You know
too
you're not,
kind.
you know you're not getting paid, right?
We are. Well, I'm out of here.
Wait a minute.
Hey, y'all.
The guitar player just left.
Oh, damn.
Anyway, let's see. So here's the plan. We've got this whole band basically set up here in the studio, which we've never done before. I mentioned that. At about our 30-minute point, Sarah and the guys are going to play an original song. right? Up until that point, we'll just chop it up, and we'll get to whatever we're going to get up to, and then we'll do our song, and then we'll go in with the rest of the show. And then in the second hour, at about our 45-minute mark, they'll have an opportunity to play another song. And Sarah, you are playing original songs.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys do a lot of stuff locally, but it's sort of like covers.
We do cover gigs here and there, and sometimes it's a duo, sometimes it's a trio. We kind of, we go wherever people want us, really.
So as an artist, is it to sell yourself to a venue? Is it easier to say we're a cover band, or we do all originals, or how does that work out? Or is it not a big deal at all?
Oh, yeah, no, there's definitely a big difference. It just depends on where you want to play. I find that a lot of beach venues and beach bars, they want the covers, which, that there's a time and place for that. But thankfully, there's a lot of gyms in St. Pete that are all about original music. So
did you say gyms?
Gyms, not like
workout gyms?
No, not that gyms, and not GIMS. I mean, like, yeah. Calling all gyms out there. Mark, you're making me forget. I'm like going on. This is what happens.
That's what he does.
That's what I do.
I forgot where I was going with that. But no, there's a lot of, a handful of places that are all about original music. Like, that's what they want, and that's what people come to hear. So,
well, I mean, certainly Sunshine 96.7 FM, Radio St. Pete, where local music lives. They're all about the local artists and the local music, and any time that they can get their hands on original content, I mean, they're all about it. So, if you haven't gotten your catalog over to them, you need to, because they will play you.
They have the songs that we
have the record.
Yeah, they have. We just released a album earlier this year in February, so they have all those songs. So maybe some of you listeners out there have heard them before.
Right.
That'd
Okay.
be cool.
Well, that's cool. Well, here's something. If you guys want to play along this evening, if you want to call in and say hello to Sarah or any of the guys in the band, you certainly can. The number to call is 727-498-0502. If you want to call in and say, "Hey, these guys are great," do that.
Or if these guys are terrible, then
do that too, because we'll have fun with that.
Yeah.
We'll have fun with
I don't
you.
mind some constructive criticism.
Right.
Yeah.
I can find out where you live.
Right. Yeah. Anyway, that number again, 727-498-0502. So one of the good things that I thought was pretty impressive is that you all came. You didn't necessarily come together. You came separately, but you all came in and out of our front door.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the amazing thing is that none of you were attacked by snakes.
Nope, not one.
Yeah, you got very lucky.
Darn it. Really?
We've been having a snake issue over like the last week and a half.
Did I mention I was leaving yet?
We've not seen one come to the second level yet.
Tyler's officially leaving now.
Right.
For real this time.
So it's like there must be some sort of a nest out there, like on our front porch area, because in the last week and a half, we've seen 5 snakes, but they're only like 6-8 inches long, that kind of thing. But still, it's like they're right outside the front door.
That's big enough.
I'm not a snake guy.
Do you know what kind of snakes they are?
Well, okay, so they look like
Snakes.
they look like snakes, right?
They look like no thank you.
Yeah, like that's a no pro.
Well,
I don't want it.
Their markings have them looking like rattlesnakes, because they're like that brown and tan sort of checkerboard kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then when we looked them up, it said that when black racer snakes are babies, that's what they look like. Now, I don't know if I believe that, because I've seen black racer snakes that are young, that are solid black with like a white ring around their neck. So I don't know if this is like their ugly step cousins or what, but I mean,
They're mutating.
yeah, whatever it is,
They're snakes.
and they're on our front porch.
Cool.
So
Well,
We got one for each of you in the to-go
Oh,
bag.
yeah, we got one
awesome.
for each of you in the.
hey, I actually grew up with a pet snake, so I'm a big fan of the danger noodles, as the internet world calls them. Danger noodles, yeah.
So, what kind of snake did you have?
A California banded king snake.
How big is that?
Gosh, I think he was about, I don't know, maybe close to 4 feet.
No, that's too much. That's
Yeah, well,
So, I mean, were you all about, taking them out of the whatever you kept them in and holding them and all that?
yeah.
Really?
He was very chill, I mean, that's the thing with snakes is that they don't mess with you if you don't
Did he ever
mess
bite
with
you?
them.
Did he ever bite you?
When he was hungry, but,
Oh, okay.
So we should have said snakes.
Well, I guess fingers can be mistaken for baby mice. I don't know.
I heard this story one time, and they were talking about this woman she was like an exotic dancer, and she would dance with her python. Okay, so she was so attached to this python that she would let it sleep in bed with her. Right?
That's a no.
Right. So then the snake started acting erratically. So she went to the doctor or to the vet to talk about this snake, and the vet said, "Here's the thing. He has sized you up. He's now trying to figure out how to eat you." Did you ever have that fear with your California
No,
corn
definitely
snake or whatever it was?
Did not sleep with our pet snake.
Did it have a name?
Yes, his name was Ripster.
Ripster.
I did not name him.
Mm-hmm.
That was my older brother. But yeah, it's a pretty chill snake. I mean, I've met a few snakes in my lifetime, and he was pretty cool.
As far as snakes go, it was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's cool. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. When we leave, and unfortunately, summer is waning, and now all of a sudden it's starting to get darker earlier. So when we leave this evening, just watch your step out there.
Everyone hold hands.
Yeah.
Everybody hold hands. We'll turn on all the lights. Have the spotlights out for any.
Scott, you're gonna have to carry Tyler.
I will.
You can go out the side door. Yeah, right.
There's a door right here.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so here's something else I wanted to talk to you guys about. So, in the last week, there have been a lot of rock star deaths. Does that make you guys feel nervous in any kind of way?
If we were rock stars,
Yeah, it's like first of all,
fly low enough under the radar.
yeah,
We would get missed.
He's a very humble dude.
yeah. No, I'm not particularly
Not worried
nervous.
about-
Should I be nervous now? You brought up the snakes and
Listen, we're talking about snakes. We're talking about rock star deaths.
yeah.
A little
peril.
later in the show, we're going to talk about diarrhea. I mean, we're covering it all tonight, man. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we're going to get there. We're going to get there.
But yeah, no,
So-
I'm not nervous.
Yeah, so Jimmy Buffett died, I guess, last weekend at the age of 76. Steve Harwell of Smash Mouth passed away earlier this week at the age of 50. And then Gary Wright from the 70s, he wrote Dreamweaver. Weaver. I don't know if you remember that song.
Mm-hmm.
He passed away earlier this week as well. He was 80. So, right, that's it. That's the one. Yeah. Anyway, so three rock star deaths this week alone. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it goes.
Well, deaths, yeah, they usually happen in threes, but they don't usually happen that quick. It's like you get one, and then somebody will get nervous. Am I going to be the next one? Then two will happen, and then the third one is like, oh, man.
You know who's not afraid?
Who?
Keith Richards.
Keith Richards is not afraid, right?
He's immortal.
He's probably got a contract with the Grim Reaper that says he's got a clause that he can't take
Yeah.
him out.
Right.
He has always been.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the group of you, and I can tell right away that you're all big football fans. And is that a yes or yeah? Okay, so you got a Dallas Cowboy cap
Yes,
on.
sir.
There you go. There you go. So anyway, I mean, how happy are we that football season has started? Last night was the first NFL game of the season, and it had the Kansas City Chiefs losing to the Detroit Lions 21-20. And then, of course, our Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in Minnesota Sunday to face the Vikings. Go Bucks. That's that.
Woo!
You guys gamble at all?
Nah.
You don't do
I
any
don't have the
gambling?
money to gamble.
Only with my life.
If
Okay.
I had more money, sure.
Okay, so you're talking about you don't have the money to gamble, but here's the thing. Do you do Powerball at all? It's $2.
Sometimes.
I've done it twice in my life.
Okay, so tonight's drawing is worth an estimated $500 million.
That'd be nice.
So $2 to win $500 million, that's a pretty good investment.
Yeah, but they're going to
I
take
know where
most
we're
of it.
going.
They'll take half of it. So what, you can't live the rest of your life on $250 million? I mean,
Well,
come
I'm
on.
going to go crazy with it. So.
I'm just happy. I'm just happy when I find $5 in my pocket that I forgot about. Like that's winning the lottery. For
See,
me.
now it's saying that makes you sound like a starving artist.
Well,
That's good for
I
the
mean,
brand.
I mean, it is what it is.
yeah.
You only get so many of those.
Right. I got you. So here's something on a bit of a somber note, is that Monday is the 22nd anniversary of the whole 9/11 debacle. So that will be something that, how old are you guys? I mean, how old were you when that whole thing went down?
I was 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right then. Yeah, I was 7 or 8.
I mean, how big of an issue was it in your life at that time, at those young ages? I mean, Ty, you were probably about the same age,
Yeah, I was
right?
like 11 or 12.
Yeah, and I don't really remember you being that fazed by it, or your sister Hannah being that fazed by it.
I haven't slept since.
Monday's going to be a bad day for you.
Every time I close my eyes, I see those towers, man.
Mom showed up at school. I was losing it.
Get in the
Yeah.
car.
In the car.
I know for me, and I'm sure a lot of people my age thinking back then, I just didn't understand really what was happening.
Right.
Obviously, I knew, like, okay, something really serious happened. Should I be afraid?
Very afraid.
Well, they talk about stuff like that, where it's like one of those moments that you're always going to remember where you were when you found out that it happened. And for me, when we first moved down here, we had a carpet and upholstery cleaning business, and I was in this living room of this young mother and her toddler, and we're watching Barney, and all of a sudden, this woman's friend called and said, "Oh my God, did you see the Pentagon just got blown up, right?" So then we switched the channel from Barney to whatever channel it was, and I was like, "That's not the Pentagon, that's the World Trade Center." And it was like, what is happening? Just a bizarre. Switch back to Barney. Let's go back to bed, forget it ever happened.
I got in the car and picked up the kids from
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Like McDill is too close.
Right. So are you guys, you said you were from North Carolina.
Yes.
Are you, the rest of you, from other places?
Are you?
Here?
I'm from St. Pete originally.
Okay.
We're both from Tampa.
Okay. So you guys are used to the hurricanes and stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
So do you have any fear at all about Lee, who is out there and is already up to a Cat 5? I don't know if you've seen like the models of what's supposed to happen with this thing, but I've never seen the spaghetti models do like a total 90-degree turn. It's usually like a, let's ease on in there.
Yeah.
This thing is like this, and I'm like, really? That's what's going to happen?
Well, I just gotta say, in Dennis Phillips, we trust.
Dennis, if you're listening, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
big fans.
Personal
big fans.
friend of
They-
mine.
To be honest,
Yeah.
I don't watch the news. This is the first time hearing of another.
Yeah, that's same.
Oh.
I'm actually Googling it right now.
Oh, and it's big. I mean,
Yeah.
it jumped from a Cat 2 to a Cat 5. I mean, it's
it's
like
a fast-moving-
it's big and it's coming.
Yeah.
And let's hope that it makes that turn.
Not to freak out any listeners out there. I think we're all good though. I
Yeah,
mean,
looks
last
like
I saw, it's gonna like veer up north and stay well east of Florida. So
Well, we've been told that before too. So
We have been, yeah.
yeah, right. So
everyone go thank your local Indian mound, Native American mound.
that's right down the street.
Right down
Yeah.
the street.
Yeah.
Right down the street.
I used to live in a
So-
neighborhood with one.
So we are definitely safe here in this house. On the last storm, we didn't get anything. If you look in the back of my pickup truck, that's all the damage we got. Those little few limbs in the back of the truck. That's it. And one of our pool screens blew out. But yeah, it's full of body limbs.
It was brutal.
Bunch of arms and legs out there. Right.
All right, now I'm starting to be nervous about that.
Halloween is coming.
Yes, it is.
Right. So I saw the other day on Facebook, a lot of people were talking about how they saw this strange thing in the sky, and I guess it was like early Monday morning, and they're like, "What the heck is that?"
That was me.
It looked like a big streaking like meteor going through the sky, and everybody was like, "Well, what is it?"
I was late for work.
And it turns out it was like a SpaceX thing. It was the returning astronauts from the International Space Station coming and landing. So that's if you were wondering what it was.
I didn't
didn't
not
see
even.
that, but
I
did
didn't know
see
that.
the Starlink satellites. My fiance and I, like a few weeks ago, we were outside. Her daughter got a new telescope, so we were outside trying to look at the moon, and we see this straight line of just these lights, and they're tiny, and it was like 16 of them, like in a perfect line going across the sky. And my immediate thought was, well, it's over.
Well, that's
The sky's about to light up.
that was very possibly the alien invasion.
It's the Starlink.
Are you concerned at all with Elon Musk? He's throwing stuff up in space like every other month, and it's like, is anybody really keeping track of what he's putting up there?
Well, he's a very concerning man anyway.
I mean, it's kind of crazy what's happening
I'm
up
sure
there.
I'm sure there's a lot of wealthy billionaire maniacs out there that are doing a lot of things. Elon Musk just happens to have a lot of exposure.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that there's plenty of others out there,
Well, doesn't it seem? It seems like a few months ago, it's like the billionaires were all trying to one up each other by building their own spaceship where they could go to the edge of space. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And taking rich people up. I mean, would you ever do? Is that something you would ever consider?
No.
Would you ever consider getting in this bomb,
Well, I
and
mean-
going after the edge of space?
Yeah, look.
Yeah. That submarine thing, forget about it.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
I don't know. I feel like for me, it would be one of those situations where if someone offered me a ride into space, I would really have to contemplate it.
I would.
What drugs we taking?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, what's up there?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, for me, I guess the older that you get a little bit more leery about things. You know what I mean? So, like when I was a kid, no problem with heights, no problem flying, that kind of thing. I've been in helicopters, I've been in planes, I hung from the bottom of a helicopter, that kind of thing. But to do that now, forget about it. Now you're going to tell me you're going to put me on the top of a rocket and send me? No way.
Yeah.
No way.
It would be definitely a breathtaking experience, but I love my life on the ground just as it is, and I feel like I wouldn't want to take the risk. It's not worth it all.
I think if they could put me to sleep and then shoot me up there and then revive me once I was up there,
Yeah.
because to me it's the getting there that's the problem.
Yeah.
Once I'm up there, then I'm like, oh, this is pretty
it's
cool.
like
This is
going
neat.
up on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It's
Now-
always that steep incline where
Yeah.
you're like,
Now put me back under so
Yeah.
we can go back down.
I'm done.
I don't want to have any part of the going or coming.
Nope.
Just like going
Yeah.
to the dentist.
Yeah, no.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, that's that.
No.
So what else can you tell us about your music?
guys, what
Well-
can you say about the music?
All right, so are you writing the song solely,
Yes.
or there's not a collaboration or anything like that?
Not right now. Yeah, I'm the sole songwriter. I love words. Yeah, but then, I kind of try to come up with some sort of composition and, roughly, and then I'll let the guys hear it and then, let them go on their creative sprees and take it where they think it should go. So yeah.
Well,
Okay.
so what's the process? Do you come up with a part of a song and give it to them so they can work out the music, or are you also working out the music? Are you just doing the lyrics, or
No.
do you have the actual song in your head?
Sometimes, you know, I will come up with like, I'll write a full song, either that or like a verse or like just the hook, you know, and then come up with a composition, kind of like get the feel of like what I want the song to sound like, and then I'll run it by Scott, pick his brain, and then we kind of, you know, and then we all like come together and kind of figure it out piece by piece, and then eventually it just forms into something whole.
I will say that the most recent song that we had come together on, she had the entirety of it pretty much done, and then Tyler and I and Noel sat with her, and we kind of like, what if we did this, or what if there's all the what ifs when we all come together,
Right.
and then that's what really brings the things together.
And when I come and to them and I'm like, I got this new song that I want to work on, there will be parts where I'm like, I don't know what a good transition is from this part to this part, or like I feel like it's missing this, I don't know what it needs. So it really is a collaborative thing. So yeah.
All right, let me ask you this. So is there an average length of time that it takes to write a song? Or is it like one of those things where you always hear, oh, it took me 5 minutes in the back of the tour bus?
Sometimes it'd be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Sometimes I think for me, I like to take my time on writing my lyrics. Sometimes they just kind of pour out pretty smoothly. Other times I will be hung up. I'll only have one verse for like months and months. And I'm like, I know where I want to take this song. Like, I know what I want to say. It's just like, how do I say it? So
It would almost seem to me that the longer it took, the more changes that would occur.
yes.
So it's like one of those situations where it's like, go with your gut instinct. Go with the
Yeah.
first thing.
That's Scott's method. He laughs at me because we have some songs where I probably changed them 3 different times, and I couldn't even tell you what the original melody was, or you know. And so he gets on to me about that. But sometimes I'm just like, I don't like it. It's not where I want it to be, so I'm going to change it. And then I wind up forgetting all the versions of the song, and then
Which is really funny because the song that she's talking about, the song is actually called Changes.
yeah, oh yeah.
Which is hilarious.
Yep. Yeah. I need to pull that one out of the crypt.
Yes.
It's a little dusty. Once again,
So-
I don't know how it goes.
When you write a song called Changes, do you go to David Bowie's catalog? And do you pull any parts of that, or is it totally original?
I mean, it's hard to say.
I mean, I would think that in this day and age, there are so many songs that have been written
Right.
and
You're
recorded.
bound to sound like someone
yeah,
else.
it always blows me away when somebody's trying to sue somebody because, oh, wait a minute, that lick that you just played in that song, I did that back in 1965.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, well, wait a minute. I mean,
Yeah.
how many licks are there? You know, how many different variations are there? I mean,
Right.
eventually, it's all going to have to start to overlap a little bit,
Yeah,
right?
for sure. I think for me, I'm not going to go into the whole long story, but my music, like even before the band, even before working with Scott, and it was just me, I just created music purely, I don't know, like just what kind of poured out of me. I never really had, you know, any sort of like influence. I was like, I want to sound exactly like them, or you know, any sort of like idol. Yeah, I have like my favorite artists and stuff, but as far as like my music, it's kind of just what I'm feeling at that moment. I want to write about, and then you know, I'll write the words and then throw a melody on top of that. So I think in my mind, knowing my process, it has been, you know, pretty much 99% original. But then again, like you said, you know, like there's only so many ways to play a song, and I'm sure I sound like someone, or I.
All right, well,
you
let me
know.
ask you this. On an album, how many songs are we talking about? Like, say, what, 8?
Ideally.
Okay. So you got 8 songs. Are you making albums that are sort of like themed, or is every song different, or is there a general feeling? You know what I mean?
Well, so we only have one album out. It's called Bullets and Daisies. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you listen to music, you can go search for it. And that collection of songs was just the ones that we felt the most confident about, the ones that, we've played before and like we got a good response from. So we just chose those songs. Going forward, we're working on a song right now called Someday. And we just want to release singles right now just to, get some like consistent momentum. And then after that, kind of recollect and see, what songs are our best songs. Maybe we'll re-record them and release them as, an album. So yeah.
That's cool.
Kind of what we're doing right now.
All right. So the song that you're about to play,
yes,
is that from Bullets and Daisies?
Yes, it
Okay.
is.
You do realize there's a band called Guns N' Roses.
I do. And
It's a little softer.
yeah,
A little softer.
Guns N'
Okay,
Roses?
so here we go. We're at our first break, and this is their opportunity to play their first original tune, and it's from Bullets and Daisies. What's the name of the song?
It's called Take Me With You.
Okay, everybody, this is Take Me With You. Dig this, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Have you ever felt like you're being watched, like there's something else waiting out there? One night not long ago, walking down an old back road into the black abyss, I stared. And from the darkness I saw a glow, like a distant place I used to know. It was calling me home. The light came rushing through me like a mother's love, just like it knew me. My skin melted into the sweet oblivion. I must have missed the ship again. Take me with you. Take me with you. Now it all makes sense why I feel like I never fit in, searching for some place whose name I never knew. God, it feels so good to be found and understood. And it's calling me home. The light came rushing rushing through me like a mother's love, just like it knew me. My skin melted into the sweet oblivion. I must have missed the ship again. Take me, take me. The light came rushing through me like a mother's love, just like it knew me. My skin melted into the sweet oblivion. I must have missed the ship again. Take me with you. Take me with you.
Wow, that was fantastic.
Thank you.
Ernestine Black Band, folks, that was fantastic. I love that, and that's from your album Bullets and Daisies, or Bullets and Daisies.
Yes, Bullets and Daisies.
Okay, and the name of the song again?
It's called Take Me With You.
Take Me With You. Fantastic. My dad is listening to the show, and he says that really great start to the show, but he was interested to know what the name of the band was once again, and it's Ernestine Black Band.
Yes.
So-
Ernestine Black, and then, just
No.
Ernestine Black.
Just Ernestine
yes,
Black.
yeah.
Forget the band.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's fantastic. All right, folks. There's a couple of things that I want to ask you, and I will. But first, I need to say, hey, we're back with the Marco Radio Happy Hour Show. We come to you every Friday evening, 6 to 8 p.m. right here on Radio St. Pete Online and on Sunshine, 96.7 FM Radio St. Pete, where local music lives. And tonight we have a special guest here in the studio. Again, we have Ernestine Black, and the members are Sarah, Scott, Tyler, and Noel. We also have my Tyler over there, and he's doing some videography.
Hi,
And we
yes,
have my
hello.
blushing bride Stephanie over there running the board over there. So it's the Marco Radio Happy Hour Show, folks. And one more thing I'll add is 727-498-0502. If you feel the need to call in and say, hey, we're here to accept the call, 727-498-0502. So this is an album. Where can we find it?
Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you listen to music, you just have to know how to spell Ernestine.
Amazon, Google.
Yeah. But yeah.
Okay, well, that's cool. Are you
I miss MySpace.
are you on iTunes at all, or?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep, everywhere.
Okay, so I mean, if you don't mind me asking, I mean, how is it? I hear a lot of artists talking about, because record sales are not like what they used to be. A lot of the money that bands used to make back in the day were based on the number of albums that they sold. So it's a whole different game now because people can get your music from a whole bunch of different places. How do you get paid?
Still working on that part.
Good one, huh?
No, you know what? For me, yeah, right. There's money in this profession. No, I'll speak for myself. Obviously, it's always nice to get the recognition and the pay. That's always good. But like for me, like my whole objective as an artist is it helps me grow. It helps me find closure. It's healing for me. And I just want to create honest music that gives people the words that they need to hear. And that's what I'm doing it for. And I don't come from a background of music. Pretty much self-taught. And, I didn't go to school for music. I mean, pretty much the only classes I've ever taken was piano lessons when I was 6 or 7 years old. So for me, creating music has been purely just, I don't know, something that feels good.
It's just the joy of creating.
The joy of creating, and that's
doing
how
it.
it's always been for me. And I, you know, and you can get, you as in the collective out there, you can get hung up on, you know, all the numbers and like your
Right.
social media presence and all the analytics and all that stuff. And like, that's good. Like, you know, like you need to have that to
Probably takes
to
away
get
from
known.
the originality.
Yeah.
You know, and now all of a sudden it's a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And, you know, I just want to create good music. That's all I really care
Well,
about.
that song was fantastic. I
Thank
dug
you.
that. That was very good.
Thank you.
Really like that. So that's what I wanted to ask you about that. Now, one of the things we talked about before the show, we briefly mentioned, because I saw your Tumblr, and your Tumblr had a tea bag hanging out of it.
Yes.
And so are we all on the TikTok thing? Do we all do
Yes.
TikTok?
I have TikTok,
Yes.
but I'm not really on it actively.
Okay. So you've heard of TikTok challenges, and
Yes.
TikTok comes up with a whole bunch of different things.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and what I was
Super wild.
telling you earlier today, I heard that one of the new things is putting tea bags in Sprite. And to me, I mean, it seems like, yeah, I can't drink a Sprite just because it's too much for me. There's too much going on
Carbonation.
there. Yeah,
That's how white
It's-
he is.
Well, it's not the carbonation. It's just the too much like syrup. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I'm not.
You're a
That's that
diet.
McDonald's spray.
You're a
Ultra
diet
powerful.
guy.
Yeah. So yeah, if I'm drinking a soda, it's going to be a Diet Coke, and I can't even imagine putting a tea bag in it. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's one of the least scary concoctions that TikTok has given the world.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. So here's something that we discovered just recently: are these smash burger tacos?
Oh, I just saw that yesterday.
Oh my God, dude! You got to do it.
All right, bet.
You got to do it. You
Sounds
got.
good.
Breakfast.
Okay, so she's started doing it more often with breakfast than we've done the smash burger tacos, which are the bomb, right? But now what she's doing is she's taking the tortilla, right, and she's maybe cutting up some ham, some sprinkled
Breakfast
cheese,
putting
putting.
smashed
Oh
tacos,
yeah,
but
so it's
breakfast
almost like a
version?
breakfast burrito. Pff, And
Killer.
what's beautiful about it is that the cleanup. Now you don't have all these different pots and pans because you've cooked everything separately. You're cooking everything all at once, so it's quick, it's easy, and it's fantastic.
Okay.
Did you guys ever take the one chip challenge?
No,
No.
absolutely not.
No, especially not now. Did you see?
Yeah, so that
poor
teenager.
Teenager.
Yeah, I guess, and I don't know if they've 100% determined that his
Yeah.
death was caused by the hot chip, but man, oh man, back in the day when I was young and dumb,
Not much has changed.
So
Yeah,
you
right.
mean last week?
yeah, last week, right? Thank you. Thanks for noticing. But no, back in the day, I got myself into a hot pepper eating contest. So me and a bunch of Marines had gone out to this bar. Go ahead.
In California.
In California.
We need to clarify that you had Mexican.
Right. So we got, and it was a jalapeno pepper eating contest. So you know how you get like, sometimes you go to a restaurant and get like a cardboard sort of boat full of French fries?
Yeah.
Okay. So on this table were all of these cardboard boats full of jalapeno peppers. Okay. So there were probably 6 of us in this contest. Okay. And so it was me, and then there's this girl across from me, and then 4 other people. And you had 2 minutes to eat as many of these jalapeno peppers as you could. And I'm firing them down because I have a pretty good tolerance for spicy stuff. But then all of a sudden, I made the fatal mistake of wiping.
Oh no.
So now I've wiped my eye, and now I'm like blinded with a fireball eye in this eye.
Rush to the emergency room
No,
immediately.
I'm sweating bullets. I'm sweating bullets. I ate like 2.5 of those boats of peppers. And the person who won was the girl across from me. She ate 3 full boats of these things. I was miserable for certainly the rest of the night.
Yeah.
And then the whole next week. It was unbelievable. I could not. I don't care how much I wash my hands.
Yeah.
Anytime I touch my face,
It was
my
in your
face,
blood by
it
then.
was on me. It was coming out hot. It was bad.
Were these raw jalapenos?
Yeah.
Raw jalapenos.
Yeah, I mean it was bad. It was so I can't even imagine when you're talking about like I mean it seems like these days it's some sort of like a challenge for who can eat the hottest peppers, and they have like the ghost peppers, and they have the whatever, and they're talking about Scovilles or whatever it is like how hot they are. It's 1,000,000 Scovilles or whatever that means, but this chip apparently is supposed to be off the chain. And I've seen the videos of these people eating this chip, and it's like I can't even imagine putting myself through that. But now
I can't do the flaming hot Doritos.
I can't either. Pepper spicy
That's
to
my
me.
gas station go-to is hot fries. I love hot fries, but when it comes to those crazy, I don't know, chips, I don't have a day to take off, or like half a day to take off to recover from that.
What is the
But
rest of your day
hey,
look like?
kudos to other people who just
Very cleansing.
yeah, right, yeah, it'll change your attitude for sure. Now here's the thing: I have one of those chips tonight. So which one of you is going to volunteer?
Not me.
No way.
I'm just kidding.
This guy wants to be famous.
Ty, make sure you videotape this whole thing.
Oh, absolutely. Here we
He's
go.
going to become TikTok famous tonight here on the Marco Radio Happy Hour Show. How about that?
Allegedly. For legal reasons.
Drummer dies after the one chip challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, here's something I heard that was kind of interesting. Do you guys do any sort of like fasting at all? No, I don't either.
I eat too fast.
Sometimes because I'm poor, but that's
Yeah,
different.
I was gonna say, I've done that before in my younger days when I just didn't have money.
Right. So unintentional.
What'd you say, Noel? I've done intermittent. Yeah, I've done intermittent fasting as well.
Okay, so when you say intermittent, like what's the time period between eating?
So I did 16-8, so you fast for 16 hours and you eat for 8 hours.
16-8. Okay.
Yeah, I've done 16-8 as well.
Eat nonstop for 8 hours.
So anyway, I was listening to this radio show, and they were talking about the benefits of a 3-day fast. Okay, and I'm like, first of all, how can you even survive that? You know what I mean?
I'd be so cranky.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, they say though that fasting like that, there's some definite benefits. It's like you certainly can lose weight, but it lowers your cholesterol. It'll clear up your skin. It gives you better focus. But then they also said that once you've started fasting for more than like a day, then your body starts to attack anything in your body that's not good. You know what I mean? So it's almost like beneficial. Like if, I don't know that it's going to cure cancer or anything like that, but if you've got, I don't know, I mean, what could it be? But it starts to attack whatever's not right in your body.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It sounds like woo-woo stuff to me.
Your body gets hangry.
Yeah. My personal experience with it, where my tummy ache girls at out there. I have some gut issues, and sometimes like when I haven't been eating like my normal diet, then my body starts to really hate me, and so sometimes like going on these short periods of fasting has helped kind of get my my insides back on track. And so I believe in, within, reason, never starve yourself. But like if fasting works for you and you can find like a good, schedule, then like, hey, try it,
Well, what they were talking about is like after like a 3-day fast, which I can't even imagine, they're saying that the mental struggle
To get a Big Mac is
right. But the mental struggle that you go through keeping yourself from eating. Once you get through the fast,
I don't think
it's
I'm
almost like
getting through it,
it's
man.
almost like you've had like a religious experience where it's like you've sort of cleansed yourself. It's like you've imprisoned yourself, and now you've set yourself free for. You know what I mean? Can you imagine?
Or you're
that?
so hungry that you're actually going delusional at that point. So
Yeah, I mean,
There's a euphoria to it.
But they say, well, it's almost, is that kind of like, does it become like a runner's high? You know what I mean? So now all of a sudden I'm so hungry, I'm so pissed at the world because I haven't eaten. I'm
'cause
so
you're starving
hangry.
to death.
Yeah, I'm so hangry. Now all of a sudden I've got this euphoria. And I mean, to me, I think I just turn into like a serial killer.
I would not survive.
yes. Oh,
Your body into like ketosis. So like after 3 days, your body starts eating fat instead of
Yeah.
energy, and that's why you lose.
Well, I think that's what they were saying is that it starts not only eating like fat and stuff like that, but it starts attacking things that might be, other things that are wrong with you. So, but anyway, what are we doing? I see hand signals.
Signals.
I was making the motion to see if when Noel talks, like if people can actually hear him, what he's saying. Because I will reiterate what he's saying.
I was gonna say kind of, but
Okay.
not well.
Well,
Well,
Up, boy.
listen, this is our first time doing this. The next time we'll be better prepared. We'll have more microphones and that kind of
We
thing.
need like 14 more microphones
Yeah.
in the room.
Right.
well, I would love
I
to
need a
know
bigger board.
to anyone listening out there, if you want to call in or wherever they can leave their comments, like let us know how it sounds. Because if I'm not a diva about a lot of things, but I am a diva when it comes to sound quality. So
Well, I think as far
it sounds
as
good on my.
I think as far
ears.
as the song went, I think it was beautiful.
Cool, awesome.
If it was bad, we'd know.
Okay, got
Let's
it.
put it that way.
Yeah, somebody would say something by now. Yeah.
I'd say so.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like our show. They don't hesitate to
Right on.
let us know.
If they don't say anything, it's a good sign.
That's it. Yeah.
Right on. Cool. Thank you, listeners.
But if you do want to call in, 727-498-0502. So that's that. So do you have a go-to burger joint here in town?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That was me thinking. Actually, is what that was.
That was the sound of his brain.
My favorite, and it's probably Scott's favorite too, is Engine Number 9
Big time.
in downtown St. Pete. Because they offer not just like cow burgers, but also plant-based Beyond Meat burgers for all you plant eaters out there. They're really good though. So, and yeah, their fries, they got French fries, got tater tots, they got fried pickle spears, and probably some other stuff that I've never gotten there before.
I saw that there's a new place downtown St. Pete, 201 2nd Avenue. It's called Dirty Shirley.
Oh yeah, that used to be.
Second and second.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that,
it's supposed to be really good too. I just saw that. And I was
they
like,
got that giant, that massive cherry on
yeah,
their
yeah,
awning, which
right.
looks really cool.
Is there a food that you absolutely crave, and it's like, I mean, for me, it's like a good burger. There's times when it's like, if I don't get a burger, that's it. I'm going to lose my mind.
All right, let's go around the room. All right,
There's also an egg sandwich from the Lab Coffee Tampa that I crave.
egg sandwich.
Hold on, got a phone call.
Oh, we got a call.
Hello, caller. This is the Marco Radio Happy Hour Show. Who are we speaking with?
I was calling in for comments.
Okay,
for
go ahead.
Ernestine Black.
Yep, go ahead.
Well, the audio sounds fabulous. Y'all did a really good job.
Are you talking the song or throughout? What?
Well, the song.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, go ahead. Oh, can you turn
Okay,
your radio
so I can
down?
keep talking.
If you turn your radio down, then you won't get the feedback. Are you still there?
Okay, I'm still here.
Okay.
No, her song. I'm one of her biggest fans.
Okay, what's your
Actually,
name?
We go back. Cynthia Long.
Oh.
I'm one of her biggest fans. I
Okay.
kind of go back to
Okay.
1993 when she was born in Raleigh, North Carolina.
So you've been a big fan for a long time.
I've been a big fan for a long time.
Well, that's
Okay,
fantastic.
So I'm like hearing an echo here.
So
The audio from you guys, it sounds fabulous. We're listening. My niece and I are listening to it via the radio in the den, and the whole band is phenomenal. They're just great. They're very dedicated. They love what they do. I wish everybody did in life.
Well, I mean, listen, it definitely shows that they're all committed to this. And, I coming into this didn't know that much about the music that they were going to play. And I tell you, honestly, very surprised and very, I don't want to say surprised, like I didn't think they had it in them, but I'm saying that I was very pleased with what I heard. And I'm looking forward to the next song that they play.
And the host, you and the others, very comical, very witty. It's good. It's good entertainment.
So when can you come on the show?
Night.
We do this show every Friday evening. Can you come on the show?
Well, I can't sing. I'm a grief counselor, but you may not want me. That's probably
that sounds
snakes.
fantastic.
That's perfect.
That would be great content. I would dig that. I just got a text from a buddy of mine. He said that the audio is fantastic. So that's good. So there's somebody else agreeing with you. That's great. That's good. So
I think y'all were concerned about it, but it sounds great.
Well, the thing is, this is the first time we've done this here in the studio, and so we didn't really know how it was all going to come about. But apparently, it's working out well, and hopefully, we'll be able to do this again.
And I have no idea what I'm doing over here. I'm just, pushing buttons.
Right.
So.
You're doing a good job. Whatever you're doing, keep on doing it. You're doing a great job.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling. Any words of wisdom you want to give to your daughter?
I don't know. She teaches me every day. That's why I can live as long as I have.
Love you, Mom.
Love you, Mom. Right. All right. Well, listen.
I love you soon. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Anyway, thank you. It's been great.
Thanks for calling in.
Bye.
Bye. That's great.
It's my mom, everyone. My biggest fan. Seriously, though, I love my mom a lot.
Well, I mean, you're supposed to.
Yeah, I never take it for granted. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, guess what? Don't ever take it for granted because someday they won't be there, and that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, man, I would love to talk to her. I'm a grief counselor. That's pretty heavy. So, what are we doing? Okay.
I was trying to steal my capo back. Scott took it, but he needs it. So.
But you guys aren't going to play top of the hour.
Yeah, you're not going to play top of the hour, so.
Oh yeah, no, we're just bickering over here. This is like what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're good.
All right, well, that's cool. All right, well, listen, we are so close to our halfway point, and maybe this is a good stopping off point. We'll go ahead and wrap up the first hour of the show. We'll go ahead and do all of our promos, and then we'll look forward to doing the second hour of the show.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we are the Marco Radio Happy Hour Show. We come to you live every Friday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. right here on Radio St. Pete Online and on Sunshine, 96.7 FM Radio St. Pete, where local music lives. We have Ernestine Black in the studio this evening and the whole crew. We heard a song earlier this evening, and it was phenomenal. We look forward to hearing their second song in the second hour. We're going to take a quick break. During that break, I've got all kinds of promos, and these promos are of shows that come on later this evening after our show and then throughout the weekend. Do yourself a favor. I know you probably got to pee, you got to get another drink, whatever it is. Rush back and listen to some of these promos because you're probably going to find something that's going to grab your interest, something that you're going to want to listen to on the reg here on Sunshine 96.7 FM. So we're going to take our break. When we come back, we'll get back into the rest of the show. We talked about burger joints. We talked about fasting. When we come back, let's talk about those Rolling Stones and their latest album. How about that? We'll be right back.
Sunshine 96.7 FM, WMTB LP St. Petersburg, Radio St. Pete, where local music lives.
One and all, let us imbibe with the Marco Radio Show Happy Hour. This is Ed Rowe from the Boho Sideshow.
Next time on The Pulse, the terror attacks of 9/11 changed some people's lives immediately.
When I drove up, there were all of these cars in front of my house.
But they affected all of our lives, how we move around in the world, how we build, how we think about grief and trauma. We'll take a look at the lessons that have come from this day.
Our lunchtime conversation on Monday, September 11th from Radio St. Pete.
Coming up, a 9/11 music special to connect us and to remember September 11th, featuring powerful music by singers and songwriters, including Amy Grant, David Francie, Ryan Adams, Patty Larkin, and David Wilcox.
From the top of the towers, you could see past the Narrows, past Our Lady of the Harbor, to the broad open sea.
Monday morning at 9.
My niece is convinced that Abraham Lincoln's name is actually Abraham LinkedIn, and I will never hear it any other way again.
I'm waiting for the friend request. Join us this week on Away with Words.
Your hair looks like a hoo-hoo bird in a haw-haw tree.
Away with Words. Sunday afternoon at 1:05, online at RadioStPete.com.
Coming up this week on Art of the Song is guitarist extraordinaire John McLaughlin, known for his work with Miles Davis in the 60s and as the founder of the Mahavishnu Orchestra and Shakti in the 70s. John is truly one of the top guitarists of our time.
This week on Art of the Song.
Sunday afternoon at 5.
Listen here for a carefully curated program of some underheard gems from Jimmy Buffett's early albums.
He went to Paris looking for answers to questions that bothered him so.
We remember Jimmy Buffett with a special playlist from his great 8 albums of his first decade of recording right here.
Saturday at 12:15 following the Florida Folk Show.
This is a piece titled Benga Beat by British guitarist and composer Gary Ryan. Hi, I'm Tony Morris. Join me for this week's edition of Classical Guitar Alive as we feature an interview with Gary Ryan. We'll also hear music by Giuliani, Carulli, Peter Warlock, and much more. That's this week on Classical Guitar Alive.
Sunday morning at 7 on 96.7 FM, Radio St. Pete.
Each year, Curlew Hills Memory Gardens in Palm Harbor proudly presents a special memorial service to honor the nearly 3,000 lives lost in New York on September 11th, 2001. The program begins at 10 a.m. and will feature 9/11 survivors, retired FDNY firefighter John W. Norman, local leaders, Master of Ceremonies Mark Wilson, a helicopter flyover, and musical performances from Sonia Bryson and the Palm Harbor High School after-school specials. Guests are encouraged to bring sun protection, folding chairs, and arrive early to avoid parking delays. Curlew Hills Memory Gardens, 1750 Curlew Road in Palm Harbor. Once again, Radio St. Pete will be proud to air this program live Monday morning at 10, and we join Curlew Hills in their vow to never forget what happened exactly 22 years ago Monday morning.
Well, hard to believe, but Folk Alley's been around for 20 years now. Hi, I'm Elena C., and we're celebrating our 20th anniversary this month. We're going to keep celebrating this week with favorites from 20 years ago. Plus, I've got new music from the Steep Canyon Rangers, Alice and Russell, and more. Hope you can join me this week on Folk Alley.
Sunday morning at 10:05 on Sunshine 96.7 FM.
Be sure to be listening Saturday morning at 10 for another special edition of the Florida Folk Show with Pete Gallagher. This week, special guests T.C. Carr and Pete Merrigan will discuss their relationships and experiences with Jimmy Buffett over the many years. and they will perform a musical tribute to the late Margaritaville star. Joining Pete and TC will be Tanya Riley, a scientist fighting to save sawfishes, and Adam Brame, a recovery coordinator for NOAA. It's all Saturday morning at 10 here on Sunshine 96.7 FM, the Florida Folk Show, supported with a generous grant from the Will McLean Foundation.
The Selma Mastery Ovarian Cancer Foundation One Step Closer race returns Saturday morning as an in-person event. Grab your friends, coworkers, and family and join us in downtown St. Pete for a 5K, 1 miler, or even a sleep-in option beginning and ending at the waterfront in Albert Wooded Park. Walk, run, or jog with fellow supporters and help provide financial assistance to patients and support research, prevention, and education here in our community. Follow Selma Mastery Ovarian Cancer Foundation on Facebook for race updates and registration information, or visit ovariancancerfoundation.org.
Hello, this is Michael.
And this is Leah.
From the Power Hour.
And Koala Fire Music.
By now, we're sure you've heard of the horrific fire that had decimated the town of Lahaina on the Hawaiian island of Maui.
On Saturday, September 9th, the Honu restaurant in Dunedin is holding a benefit called Music for Maui, featuring food and, you guessed it, music.
There'll be other events as well. Some of the performances are by artists regularly featured on this very station.
The event goes from 12 p.m. until 10 p.m. If you'd like more information, you can follow the Honu on your favorite social media platform.
Thank you for supporting our Ohana in Maui.
The Moraine Arts Center invites you to a triple opening night this Saturday, September 9th from 5 to 8 p.m. Our 3 new exhibitions, Artificial Intelligence, St. Pete Robot Show, Ermin Tabakovich, Transcending Space, and Shine 2023 debut to the public on Saturday evening from 5 to 8 p.m. All 3 shows are tied into St. Pete's street art tradition and coincide with the 9th annual Shine Mural Festival. Working in partnership with Aurelius artist, Zulu painter, and Jason Bromley, the Artificial Intelligence Show marks the 10th annual Robot Exchange. This show features submissions from numerous mediums, all circling around the theme of robotics. Come out to see fans and artists in robot attire. Artificial Intelligence is sponsored by Thrive Downtown St. Pete. Our Shine 2023 exhibition consists of at least 1 work of art from all of the artists participating in the 9th annual Shine Festival this year. There will be local, regional, and international mural artists in this exhibition. All 3 exhibitions will be on view from September 9th to October 26th at the Moraine Arts Center. We are located at 719 Central Avenue in downtown St. Petersburg. As always, our galleries are free and open to the public, Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Local music lives here. Sunshine 96.7 FM, WMTV LP, St. Petersburg. Sunshine 96.7 FM, Radio St. Pete.
I only talk to God when I need a favor, and I only pray when I ain't got a prayer. So who the hell am I to expect a savior? Oh, if I only talk to God when I need a favor, God, I need a favor. I know amazing grace, but I ain't been living them words. Swear I spend more Sundays drunk off my ass than I have in church. Hardcover King James, only been saving dust on the nightstand, and I don't know what to say by the time I fold my hands. I only talk to God when I need a favor, and I only pray when I ain't got a prayer. So who the hell am I like Hail Marys if you're still there. Lord spare me. Oh my God, Hail Mary, hanging in there, just barely throwing up prayers like Hail Marys if you're still there. Lord spare me. Oh my God, Hail Mary. Only talk to God when I need a favor, and I only pray when I ain't got a prayer. So tell me who the hell am I to expect the Savior when I only talk to God if I need a favor? God, I need a favor. Amen. God, I need a favor. Amen.
All right, well, that was Jelly Roll, everybody. You guys fans of Jelly Roll? That song was called Need a Favor. It's a good song. I was not really aware of Jelly Roll. I'd heard the name, but then Steph asked me if I would play that song, and I did. I do whatever she says because that's the way I am. I'm whipped. But anyway, Jelly Roll with Need a Favor. Folks, we are back. This is the start of our second hour. Let me sort of reintroduce everybody here in the studio. So across the table from me, as always, is my blushing bride, Stephanie. To her right is my boy, Ty Ginn. Hello. To his right is Scott playing acoustic guitar. Hello. To his right is Sarah, and she's also playing acoustic guitar. Are you playing acoustic? Yes, you're both playing acoustic guitar. Behind Sarah is Noel on drums. And then to his right, and behind me is Tyler on electric guitar. So we've got a whole conglomerate of people here in the studio. It's
and behind Tyler is Guy Fieri. Surprise!
What's he doing here? Who invited him?
Welcome to Flavortown.
Welcome to Flavortown.
Right. Yep. So anyway, we are back with the Marco Radio Happy Hour show. The number to call if you want to, 727-498-0502. We got a nice call from Sarah's mother, Shirley.
Cynthia.
Why was I thinking Shirley?
I was way off.
Nailed it.
Really? I had...
It's okay.
Well,
has the
Cynthia, I am so sorry. You sounded like a Shirley. I'm just kidding. Anyway, I'm just kidding. That was very nice of you to call in. Right. So before the break, I said, hey, let's talk about Mick Jagger and the boys coming out with their first album since like 2005. It's a studio album. I did hear one of the cuts. I get like all my music from iTunes. I build my library for the show and stuff like that. And they haven't actually released the whole album and they're not going to do it until like the 20th. But they did release one song, and it was called "Angry." And it's typical Rolling Stones, man. There's no question about it. It's the Stones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the fact that he's 80 and still out there doing it, I mean, that's pretty impressive, you know?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Are you guys, do you guys have any, are you like Rolling Stones fans or?
I'm not like, I appreciate them. I've never really gotten into the Rolling Stones, to be honest, but they're iconic for a reason.
Sure.
And so I have to check out.
I mean, they're rock and roll royalty, basically.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. When their album drops, I will definitely listen to it.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool, but they don't thrash, man.
The Beatles? Okay, so it's funny that you say that because I came up and I was all about the Rolling Stones, right? So then I went into the Marine Corps, and my roommate in the Marine Corps was all about the Beatles, right? And this is about the time when CDs are coming out. So he goes over to the PX, and he buys this brand new CD player, and I'm like, what is this thing? First of all, CDs were just coming out, and
Showing your age.
Yeah, so he was like, I'm gonna turn you into a Beatles fan, and he did. He did, right? So it was great. It was that. It was the Beatles and what's the other band? Dark Side of the Moon. What's
Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd. Yeah.
I'm wearing a Pink Floyd t-shirt.
Right. Sorry.
It's a knockoff Walmart Pink Floyd t-shirt, y'all. It's like so campy. It's embarrassing, but I didn't know what else to wear, so excuse me. I'm so glad y'all can't see me right now.
Oh, but they can.
Oh no! Oh yeah, that's right. Ty's documenting this in picture and motion picture form. Oh God.
Yeah. Are you getting pictures and stuff?
I did.
Okay.
You want me to get more?
Well, yeah. I don't know that you have to post them all right away. I mean, I'd like to go through and go, no, not that one.
No, I'm saving all the ones where you got boogers in your nose.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that that's happened yet, but it could. Still time.
Oh, it has.
Right. So anyway, pretty impressive that the Rolling Stones, if Mick Jagger is 80, that means that Keith Richards is probably 125.
Yep.
Sounds about right.
225 stuff.
Keith Richards is a robot.
Dracula.
Dracula.
Yep. So you guys, you've been here in Florida for a while, and I don't know that you've been paying attention to the news, but it seems like lately...
It's bad.
Well, it's always bad.
It's all bad.
But lately, there have been a lot of stories about bears. I mean, they found a bear at Tampa International Airport. There's bears, bear sightings all over the place. And then I just heard this story the other day about this three-legged bear that's affectionately called Tripod. That's what they call you. And this was up in the where was that three-legged bear from? Lake Mary, right? So this three-legged bear, breaks into this house and goes into their refrigerator and drinks their White Claw. So he knew it was like
knows how to party.
Like he was on a mission, right? And Tripod is is known by the locals there, so it's not like, so the reaction was like, oh, Tripod, you know what I mean? Old Tripod broke into another house and drank all their White Claw,
Y'all laugh, but just wait until he gets his peg leg, his fourth leg. Then he'll be unstoppable.
Right. What would that look like if you were to have a peg leg? What would you want? Would you like want one of those titanium ones?
I want mine bedazzled.
Okay, so like with rhinestones and stuff like that?
Yes, like if Dolly Parton was a peg leg, I would.
It's a front leg.
Oh, so he's missing an arm.
He's missing an arm. Yeah.
So he could have a hook.
Yeah, right. He could be fitted out with like a.
He could have a
hook.
bazooka at the end of his.
Cyborg bear.
Oh my God.
I don't know. With how technology is advancing these days, if I saw a cyborg bear with a bazooka arm, I would be like, wow, this is the generation we live in. Like,
this is where we've gone. Right? Look at us go.
My sci-fi dreams have finally come true.
Right. Yeah.
Thanks, capitalism.
I think if I ever lost like a leg, I'd go old school. I'd go old pirate like peg, Just give me that wooden peg. Just go old school.
I'm not going to comment.
And start
on
wearing
that,
bandanas all the time, and an eye patch. Just really put on the whole pirate thing. Mm-hmm. So, what else do we have? I guess that's it. Good night.
Bye, y'all.
No.
That's it.
Yeah, right. So here's something that it's not a nice topic to talk about it, but I probably have been in a situation where we get what Ty affectionately calls code brown.
Oh, yeah.
And it's go time, right?
Yeah.
So I heard this story the other day. There was this flight from Atlanta to Barcelona.
I heard that.
So they get like 2 hours into this flight, and this person just explodes. So they explode at their seat, but then they also explode all the way down the aisle on the way to the bathroom, to the point where they had to turn the flight around and go back to it.
Man.
You're 2 hours in, but I mean, first of all, how mad at you are you that now all of a sudden we have to go back, but then at what point do you have empathy for this person? Because if it were you, because I know that I've been not to that extreme, but I've been to the point where it's like, hey man, this is serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just can't even imagine. If I made it to the bathroom, I would never come out.
No.
They would be banging on that door. Sir, you've got to get back to your seat. We can't land. And I'm like, I'm not coming out of here until everybody's off the plane. I mean, what do you do?
I mean, how many double vodka Sprites this guy has?
I don't know. Ty played this video or this audio for me before the show, and it was about somebody who had a similar situation after eating gummy bears.
Sugar-free gummy bears.
Yeah.
I know about that.
Have you heard that story? Oh my God, it's so well written. And it's like, I mean, you can almost it. I was sweating listening to it just because it brought it right. I mean, right to home. It was like, oh my God.
I feel like
I'm scared now.
being in a metal
It's
tube
fantastic.
hauling, across the sky is already, full of anxiety already.
Already anxious, right?
And then just to add some uncontrollable bowel movements, like, man, that's just like worst case scenario. Or not worst case scenario.
Well, the thing is,
but I can think of one worse.
the older you get, the more unpredictable it gets. You know what I mean? It's like when you're younger, you can kind of control it, but then as you get older, it's like, hey, man, when it's go time, it's go time.
My most recent...
I have a story too.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll do mine real quick. So my most recent scary situation that I've had on an airplane was this past April.
Yeah.
April, I think it was. I went to my best friend, Erica. Shout out to Erica. She just got engaged, so it was, her engagement party. And, it's like when you're drinking and partying, like, you feel totally fine. And, especially, I never drink to a point where, like, I black out.
Right.
Those days are over.
Wuss.
But, but, so, like, I felt like
You're
I
not
was in
trying hard
control.
enough.
I was in control that night. And I was like, okay, like, I'm going to drink some water before I go to bed and everything. So I thought it was fine. But then I woke up and, and then I realized all my bad choices the night before and
Crept up on you.
And I made myself throw up before my flight. I was like, you know what? I think I should probably throw up before I go because that's like how I'm feeling.
Let's purge.
And and it was just absolute HELL. Can I say that?
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
hell.
Mhm.
It was. I'm trying to keep it G-rated for all the kids out there listening.
Oh, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah. It was just absolute hell on the way back. And there were, like, the last 20, 30 minutes of the flight, I probably felt like that poor person with their, poor poopy pants. I was like, please, I'm going to be one of those people. I'm going to be one of those people.
Well, can you imagine the horror of it not being contained in your poopy pants?
Yeah.
If now you're sharing it with everyone.
I mean,
in a plane.
I mean, I'm going to guess maybe there were, I don't know if this individual, what their, she, he, them, whatever, maybe they were wearing a dress, which would be worst case scenario because there's no containing that.
So this is on a plane to Barcelona. Do you suppose most of the people on the plane were Spanish?
Yes.
And maybe they're like cussing this person out in Spanish.
Oh, yes.
What would that sound like?
I can show you.
Scott's Cuban. Take it away, honey.
No, it would be
He's taught me a couple phrases, I think, right now. That sound like,
I'll give you the easy one. So there was Sarah and I were on our way back to Tampa and I had my gallbladder out maybe a few years ago now.
Okay.
So Sarah and I are on our way back from Orlando to Tampa.
Was it Orlando? I thought it was our Long Island.
No. This is from Orlando.
Oh,
I
okay.
remember this day very
All
well.
Okay.
So we had gone to a coffee shop over there, and normally I love coffee. I'm obsessed. So every shop I go to, I have to have a shot of espresso.
Yeah.
I have to try their drip coffee, and I also have to have some espresso with milk just to see what all the parameters. And then we were about to hit the road, and I was like, hey, we should just eat at this pizza place right next door.
Yeah.
You created the perfect storm.
And I'm telling you, these pizza slices were about the size of your face.
Yeah,
Like, even bigger.
they were big.
So long story short, we stopped to get gas, and I was like, you know what? Let me just hit the restroom real quick before we get on the road.
Yes.
And somebody was in there, so I was like, you know what? I'll be okay. We'll just stop at the next few exits. Well, family, the next few exits were blocked off because they were doing construction on 75 or on I-4, excuse me. And I thought I was going to pass out.
Yeah, I was driving, and I'm like a terrible partner. I laugh at Scott's pain. I don't know. It's just like he's so composed, even when he's just like absolutely just breaking
miserable
and falling apart.
Sure.
I don't know. But I was trying to get you there to the next gas station as fast as I could.
But laughing the whole time.
And then at the next gas station,
The bathrooms were out of service.
There was one bathroom, and there was a mother and a child in the bathroom. One child was standing outside. And
You
so
got
I'm
to
like,
crap on that kid, man.
I go to that kid. I'm like, hey, bud, are you waiting? He's like, oh, I don't know. He just shrugged his shoulders down. And I was like, oh, well, then forget me, right? Like,
It's time to know.
Cool.
Yeah, it was. But
you get me some paper.
6 minutes later, thankfully, I was ready to rip.
So, Tyler, you got a story?
Oh, yes, I do. It's,
see, everyone, poop is what
Everybody
brings us
poops.
together. Everyone poops.
So I was
Poop
in high
happens.
school, and I was notoriously known for skipping class and getting in trouble. And my assistant principal had issued me a warning that if I had been caught skipping class one more time, that I was going to be suspended.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was literally the next day after she had given me that warning that I was on time for school.
Yeah.
I was heading to my homeroom class. We had homeroom at the top of the day every day. And its homeroom lasted like 20 minutes, and then you would go to your first period class. And I'm on my way to homeroom, and I feel that I have to go.
You got
but
the
I was
twinge.
like, no, man, I can tough it out. I can get to
Yeah.
homeroom and wait 20 minutes,
Right.
and then go.
Sure.
You know, I was like, time to be a soldier. I can do this. And as I'm walking past the bathrooms, I sneezed.
Oh, oops.
And that's when I realized that what I was carrying was not solid.
Yeah, right.
But it was more of a liquid.
The deuce is loose.
Yeah, and so I went.
Lava.
I went a little. It wasn't a full evacuation, but it was enough to
Enough.
be a problem.
Enough
It
to be
needed
concerned
addressed.
about.
Yeah. So I just calmly stopped and turned and walked into the bathroom, and I got into a stall. The bathroom was empty. I was the only one in there, and I assessed the damage. It had just contained within my underwear, so I threw the underwear away.
Nice.
There was no saving those. Cleaned myself up and was getting ready to walk out of the bathroom. Now, during this time, while I'm in there freaking out and cursing and, just all kinds of embarrassed, the late bell had rung. So I am now late for homeroom.
Nice.
And I walk out of the bathroom, and I'm like, okay, I just got to find somewhere to go hang out for 20 minutes.
I'm going to go hide in my locker.
Right.
Yeah.
I walk out of the bathroom, and literally the first person I see is my assistant principal.
Yeah.
And she goes, Mr. Davis, why are you not in class right now? And I was just like, listen.
You don't even want to know.
This was a situation. And she just was like, she dismissed it immediately. She was like, I don't want to hear it. Go to my office. Wait for me there. I go to her office. I'm sitting in there, and she comes in, and she left her office door open so everybody in the front lobby can hear the conversation.
Yeah.
And she's like, so do you want to tell me why you weren't in class? And I was like, I pooped my pants. And she was like, you honestly expect me to believe that? And I was like, if you go into the trash can of the big stall
There's
in the
evidence.
bathroom, you will see my underwear.
The crime scene.
And she just didn't want to have it. And she called my mother on speakerphone with the office door open so the poor receptionist lady could hear all this. And I had to explain to my mother that I pooped my pants.
There you go.
Good times.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yikes.
The worst that I ever had it, I was probably around 11 years old. And I went to the mall. I know. I went to the mall with my Uncle Lenny. And he was going to be, we went to the mall specifically to go to this sporting goods store. And back in the day, there was a sporting goods store called Herman's Atlas. Okay. And because it was a mall, this Herman's Atlas was so big. It's like Dick's, but it was even bigger. You know what I mean? So it was 3 levels.
Bigger than Dick's.
It was bigger than Dick's.
I was trying so hard not to do that.
So we went into the store and immediately got separated, right? So I have no idea where my Uncle Lenny is. And now all of a sudden, I've got to go.
Flash turd.
And I cannot find him. I can't find anybody in the store to tell me where the bathrooms are. So now I am running around the store doubled over.
Yeah.
I went to the camping section and I seriously contemplated going in a tent and taking care of it. And it was like, I actually went in a tent and it was like, you can't do this. You can't do this.
That's a commitment. That's a very serious
So
commitment.
I ran out of the store and now I'm in the mall. So now I'm running through the mall like this, possessed child,
Creature.
all doubled over. People are looking at me. It's like, where are his parents?
What are his parents?
And I ducked into the Orange Julius. Thank God there was nobody in the bathroom. And I went and I took care of business, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, what a relief. And then I stroll out of the Orange Julius and now I'm walking back through the mall and there's all those people like, is that same kid? Is that that same kid?
Hey, that toilet was broken, bud.
You didn't use that bathroom, did you?
I get back in the sporting goods store and I run into my Uncle Lenny. He was like, well, did you find anything? I was like, nope.
We should go, though.
There's a nice tent over there.
Right, yeah. All right. So, okay, we got it. You ready?
We got it.
All right. So are you guys ready to do it?
Yeah, we can do it.
Okay, so we're going to do another song. Same album?
Same.
No, actually.
This is not yet to be
Yeah.
recorded.
Yeah, this song is more on the newest side.
Another original. What's the name of it?
This song is called Salt in the Cut.
Ooh.
Yes. And basically it's just a song about dealing with someone's absence, That's hard.
I got you. All right, so whenever you guys are ready, you go ahead and do your thing.
All right.
And then what happens after this? After this this song, then it's incredible because then the last break of the show goes so fast. You're gonna realize this is the
boy.
fastest 2 hours you ever spend in your life.
No, it's already over, man. It was
We're
so
getting
much
close.
fun.
All right, so you guys go ahead and do your thing.
All right.
She starts it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
It stings more now than it ever has. Time does not heal, it just distracts. I hate to know you only exist in the back of my mind like a spider web. I'm busy living, your girl is grown, but there are things I can't run from. Salt in the cut, I grind my teeth like liquid rage underneath my skin. I scream at the emptiness you left me with. I wish you'd tell me if you'd take it back. In a second, 2 worlds go black. I hate to know you only exist the back of my mind like a spider web. I've done alright on my own. I'm still a kid waiting for you to come home. Salt in the cut, I grind my teeth like liquid rage underneath my skin. I scream at the emptiness So in the cut, I grind my teeth like liquid rage underneath my skin. I scream at the emptiness. You left me
Wow. Another one. That was fantastic.
Another one. Thank you.
Ano-
Another one.
There was another one. Another great one.
Thank
Salt
you.
in the cut. Very cool.
Thank you.
Oh my God. You guys are like pretty good, man.
Thank you. That makes us feel really good.
You guys are like pretty tight.
We pretty tight.
You're
Yeah.
pretty tight.
We try.
We don't have a clue as to what we're doing with y'all in the studio.
Oh no, y'all are good.
Yeah, y'all are killing it.
We also don't know what
Well,
we're
thank you,
doing,
thank
so
Very cool. One of the things that I noticed though is like after the songs, you're not jumping up and then smashing your guitars and stuff like that.
Oh, that's
no.
yeah, not today at least.
Once again, going back to the money thing, I need my guitars.
Yeah, right. Ty, my Ty, in his death
I
metal
love those
days.
drinks.
Yeah, they're fantastic. But my Ty, during his death metal days, his gig was, or his gimmick, not only did he have the big mohawk, but he would smash his bass guitar. He would jump off stage and just completely smash it, and it was fabulous. I was so worried though, because here we are like at the Brass Mug, and everybody. I mean, he would jump off of the stage, which is probably 3 feet off the ground, jump off, smash his bass.
That's a big jump for me. I'm like 3 feet tall.
Yeah,
so.
and pieces are flying everywhere. I'm like, we are going to get sued.
I did worry about that.
One of these people is going to lose an eye,
What's up?
This is Brass Mug on Fletcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My old band brought that roof down once accidentally. We thought we were gonna get sued too.
Yeah, pretty crazy. So, what was I going to say?
We are the best band you've ever heard.
You're
Oh,
the best band I've ever heard.
He's having a
You
stroke.
heard it
Quick,
here
song
live,
three,
y'all.
song three.
Yeah.
Somebody get him a beer.
Yeah, well, I got one. Don't worry about me. Going back to the whole poop thing.
Yes, please.
Just so if you're concerned, the Wall Street Journal put out a press statement the other day that said there is a shortage of laxatives. And it's because more people are relying on laxatives than they are eating well.
Dang, that's sad.
So there is a shortage on laxatives.
Here's your
capitalism.
My dad just texted really, really cool tune. So that's good.
Thanks, Mark's dad.
Yeah, his name is Ron.
Ron. Ron.
Yeah. Ron's a pretty cool dude, man. So, okay, this is one of the things I wanted to talk about. I'm sitting here in the room with you guys, okay, and you're fairly tatted. You're fairly tatted. I did not notice until, Tyler, until you took the stool over there, that you have a tattoo of Edgar Allan Poe on your forearm.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
You've never read any of his books.
He wrote all of his books.
Poser.
Poser.
Edgar Allan
Oh, good.
Poser.
Edgar Allan Poser.
Oh man, that's good.
Yeah. So, all right. So, what's the situation here? You've got this whole time. You're right next to me, and you've got this arm here, and it is.
I've got two arms, y'all.
Whoa. Well, one of them is a bazooka, but but this one.
She's got the bear's arm. That's
Yeah.
missing.
Yeah, right. But
It was
this
me.
is beautifully tattooed, and I've been looking at all of them, and I'm like, it's always amazed me that people that have like a full sleeve. It's like, what's the mindset when you go in? It's almost like this looks to me like you had a plan.
No.
Usually the logic is pure stupidity.
Yes. I started getting tattoos when I was 16.
Okay.
Shout out to my mom for letting me get my
Signing.
first
Yeah,
tattoo.
we were the same parents.
She went
We
with
did that.
me. She went with me. She got her first tattoo when I got mine.
We did that with our daughter too.
Right on. Yeah. I mean, hey, if your child's gonna make poor choices, might as well join in on the fun, right? Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like at this point, like both of my arms are tatted. I've got my back tatted. I got my chest tatted.
I've seen
I got my
pictures
neck
of you,
tatted.
right.
I even got a face tat. I feel like at this point in my life, let's just keep going, you know?
Well, and the thing is, it's not. I mean, look, there was a time, especially, I'm 59 years old. So when I was coming up, the only people that had tattoos were sailors and prisoners.
Yeah.
And Marines, right. So I was in the Marine Corps, so I felt it was necessary for me to get tattoos. Now,
It's okay.
right.
It was acceptable.
And I have a few tattoos, but I don't have anything like this. This is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. Well,
I mean, this tiger is fantastic.
thank you. I have on
That's a
my
dog.
right forearm. Too many beers for Mark. This is actually a lizard. No, on my right Oh, wow, right on. Yeah, I have a blue tiger on my right forearm.
Tyler's
But
a tattoo
yeah, I was about to say Tyler actually tattoos for a living.
That's my job. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
You should see the tattoo he gave Scott on his butt.
It's beautiful.
You guys want to see it?
Yeah, it's Tyler's face.
Let me
It's
get the
Tyler's
camera.
face.
Hold on.
There's not really no.
That's the late show.
Yeah, the late show.
Tattoos.
Yeah. But yeah, tattoos. I don't know. I like
So
them.
my buddy John just said that he downloaded your music on from
thanks,
Apple
John.
Music.
Thanks,
so it's
John.
fantastic. And he's
Appreciate it.
thumbs up, excellent.
Awesome.
Thumbs up, excellent to you too, John.
Sounds a bit like indie artist Lindy Ortega. Are you familiar with that artist?
I'm not, but I will
I'm
check
not.
that out.
So my buddy John, also very tattooed.
Very cool.
Very cool. Yeah.
And to me, I get and I know you can't hear me, a frente. Have you heard of frente?
Frente?
Frente.
No.
Very late 80s, early 90s. One CD.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely loved it.
Yes, and great voice. You have a fantastic voice, I
Thank
think.
you.
It's got a whole. I don't know. I can't.
It's a feeling.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a feeling.
What
Ooh,
what I dig
people
is
feelings.
that it's a voice. You hear a lot of female artists these days that try to sort of emulate what Britney sounded like back in the day, where it's kind of whiny, kind of nasally kind of thing. You don't have that. You have a very original sounding voice, and I think it's very good. I mean, I think you would admit that when you listen to a lot of other female artists, that there's a whole lot of like
Modulation.
emulation. They're all trying to sort of
Yeah.
have that
Well,
same sound.
I feel like that's the thing, and I don't want to like.
Well, the men do it too. I mean, there was a time in the '90s where every single one of those bands sounded exactly the same.
Well, that's the thing is like,
That's
the
happening now,
music
too.
industry, the music industry is a business like any other. Like you go based on what's in demand, and there's certain, especially there's there's certain, especially in Nashville, and I've contemplated going to Nashville, to try that. I've had people say, "Oh, go to Nashville," but I'm like, you know what? It's too much of a factory at this point, It's like there's certain boxes that you're supposed to fit in, and like whatever. If I just like the music we're making, and I don't think I could fit into any box. I think like honestly, that's when people ask me, what do y'all sound like? What is your... I don't really know because it came from such a place of like organic, just, it just like happened. And I've never tried to really like carry any influence. Like obviously, like I said earlier in the show, there's definitely artists and bands that I really admire, and there's certain things that they do, certain elements that they add to their songs that I really love, But other than that, I don't want to emulate really anyone because I just want to
I don't necessarily
what's-
think that
yeah.
you sound like anybody else. I think you have a very original sort of sound.
Well,
It's just
that makes
it's a
me
good,
feel
it's a
good.
good, strong voice, and I dig it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And the lyrics are fantastic.
Thank you. That's where I think I put a lot of my passion, my focus in, is the message that I want to say. But the guys make me way better artists for sure.
Well,
And-
listen, as far as accompaniment,
Yes.
I don't know that you could find a better crew.
No way.
I mean, listen, we're certainly not set up for anything sound-wise in this room, but I've gotten nothing but good feedback on
Sweet.
how it sounds over the radio. And listen, if we had a chance to get you guys, like, let's say, like I told you before the show, that we had Eddie Rusicki downstairs down in our living room. If we could, set up the whole thing, it would just be mind-blowing, I think.
Well, at least y'all know now. Glad to be,
So what are you doing around Christmas time?
Hey.
We need to have a party.
You let us know. Scott and I played one really awkward Christmas party gig thing that was, it was awkward. I'm going to leave that in the past. So
Well, I promise this won't be awkward. It'll be a lot of fun. You
played
can invite anybody you want to, and I mean, we're due for a party.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be a Christmas party.
No.
Yeah. True. I played on a Christmas float one year.
Ooh.
That was
Christmas float?
The worst mistake I've ever made in my life. It was cold. I had to play Silent Night for like 45 minutes. It was just, it was awful. It was terrible.
No, that's not our Christmas party.
No.
No,
no.
I don't know that there was a Christmas song played.
Right.
No.
at
Oh,
our-
right on. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Noted.
Sweet. So all Metallica for Christmas, right?
Sweet. Do you guys do Metallica? You break off a little Metallica?
But only the early stuff. Because,
Yeah.
we're purists.
Yeah, we're purists, right? Yep. Hey, real quick.
Yeah.
Going back to TikTok, and I don't know, I might be the biggest TikToker in this room.
I think so. That's the vibe. You're-
I'm like, I'm for whatever reason, I'm like addicted to it. I just need that instant gratification of these short little videos, that
That's
kind of
how it
thing.
works.
It's
Right.
got you hooked.
Yeah, right.
It's nice knowing you, Mark.
Yeah, right. next thing you know, China's going to like transport me. I'll just be standing here one day, and next thing, I'm out of here. No, but did you guys coming up in school? Was dodgeball a thing when you grew up?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh,
Dodgeball,
man.
scatterball.
Yes.
Yeah.
So dodgeball now is like a professional sport.
Yes.
Okay.
If you can dodge a wrench,
And
you can dodge a ball.
these dodgeball videos that they have on TikTok are mind blowing. It's like the fake throws, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh my
yeah,
God,
yeah.
you could be standing there, and this guy comes up and he decoys this guy, and this guy just whips one behind his back. You can't see it at all, and then all of a sudden you get hit in the face.
Wow.
It's like, oh my
So
God, it's like,
so scatterball is the same thing.
It's
There's just
crazy.
No dividing line.
Scatterball is
Oh,
what?
that's just-
It's the same thing as dodgeball, but there's no dividing line.
So where do you
And
put
they're-
where do you like lay the?
Well, I mean, you
ball?
lay him in the
Oh.
middle, but then once you there's no teams.
Oh, gotcha. It's
every
not
man,
like-
it's every man for himself.
Got him. Okay,
Oh,
got it.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a
that
complete
sounds
free for all.
brutal.
Yeah,
Should
it's
add
not
some
really-
foam swords. Like,
yeah.
Sounds like you don't.
When I was a kid, you always knew what class the gym teacher hated because it would be dodgeball day.
Yeah.
And instead of one ball, he'd put like 5 balls out there.
Yeah.
The whole class is getting wiped out.
Yeah.
I hate this class.
Especially when the gym teacher participates in
Yeah,
dodgeball,
right.
you know he's had a really bad day.
Right. Let me show you how
Yeah,
to do it.
Pelt a bunch of
Right.
pelt a bunch of 7-year-olds. with
Man.
dodgeball.
Yeah. So we're getting close, but getting back to tattoos, Tyler, you've got quite a bit of, and you said you were a tattoo artist,
Yes, that's
which I think is phenomenal. I think that's great.
Well, thank you.
So if I wanted to get another tattoo, I mean, are you
Yeah.
at a shop all the
Yes.
time?
Yeah.
So I could book a tat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, oh man.
Or you could do in the back alley. You know, that's
Yeah.
Back alley is what I
Tyler's
prefer.
forte.
I could come
That's how I
here-
got my
could come
abortion.
here to you.
keep it crusty.
So do you have? Do either one of you have tattoos that have a story? I mean, you've got Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah, I mean,
lots of
he has
stories.
his own stories.
Right.
Tattoo with a story. I mean, a lot of mine are spur of the moment decision tattoos.
But they look like they all go together. It's not like you went out and got the Tasmanian Devil, and then you got the Roadrunner.
I've done a Tasmanian Devil. Yeah. I mean, I have my.
You've got like sort of from what I see from here, they're like old school looking. I like that.
Yeah. Very old school, American traditional style.
Yeah. What would you consider yours? Sort of like
I have a mix
Japanese sort of.
Oh no, I have a mix of American traditional and neo-traditional, and then on my left arm I have this kind of like, gosh, I don't know. It is definitely more. I don't know what Tyler. What would you consider this style? This is like, it's like a.
It's like neo-traditional.
Yeah,
I would
it's
consider it. Yeah, neo-traditional mixed with like a bit of
It looks like a 30s
illustrative.
Yeah.
movie,
Illustrative.
like wallpaper.
So okay.
Wallpaper,
So
no.
here's the question.
I love it though.
Yeah, it's colorful.
It's fantastic.
All my tattoos have color.
I've been staring at these all night, and I'm like, oh my god, those are great
Well,
tattoos.
I am pretty fair skin, and I stay out of the sun, and I take care of my skin, and because this is a lot of money on my skin, and I want to take care of it.
So if you had to guess, how much money do you suppose you have invested in it?
Oh, Tyler, you go first.
I know the time.
Well,
the time
no,
is
that's not
ridiculous.
It's not fair for me because I get tattooed for free by tattoo artists. That
Do you
I work
tattoo
with.
yourself?
I have tattooed myself.
Yeah.
It's not a good time.
Yeah, no.
It's I have to do it on like my knees or my legs.
Okay.
Because I have to have both hands to tattoo.
We got to be pretty flexible. I mean, if you're going to do it on your leg or something.
Yeah.
You know.
So like I did like small tattoos on like my like thighs, like right above my knees, basically.
Yeah.
I just got 2 of them covered up. I got my kneecap
So it didn't go
tattooed
well.
a few weeks ago. Yeah. And it covered up 2 of the tattoos that I did on myself when I was an apprentice. So.
One of the things that I noticed that both of you have a tattoo on your neck, and back in the day, that was like super frowned upon.
Oh yeah.
And now
I feel
all of
like
a sudden,
it kind of still.
I don't think so.
to an
I
extent.
think tattoos now are so accepted.
They're a lot more now, but we used to call these everlasting job stoppers.
Yeah.
When you would get your neck or your hands tattooed,
Yeah.
we'd call them everlasting job stoppers.
Yeah.
That's cool. I dig that.
Let's see, what came first? I think my neck tat came first, and then my finger tats.
Is that what, a swallow? Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's like a bluebird.
Okay, yeah.
Swallow, and then I got my fingers tattooed, and then I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna tattoo my face. So now I have.
What's it say on your fingers?
On my fingers it says Seeker.
Okay.
And then on my face I have in like some really pretty cursive. It says Bloom. And I don't know. I feel like being an artist, a creator, like you kind of can get away with it. Like, like having a look is a thing, So I just kind of blame it on that. I'll be like, I'm an artist. That's
I'm so
this is
impressed.
What I look like.
And the thing is, not everybody can pull off tattoos. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you can pull it off.
I mean,
you can pull it
pretty
off.
good.
I mean,
and especially
I was gonna make a serial killer joke, but I'm not.
In my
That's
job, it makes me look more legitimate the more tattoos
Sure,
I have.
yeah.
Because if you go in to get a tattoo and your artist doesn't have any visible tattoos, you're
Yeah.
gonna be like, this person doesn't know what they're doing. But I work in one of the only jobs where the more tattoos I have, the more professional I look.
Yep.
But you're not doing them yourself.
No.
He said he's done a couple of
I've
them.
done a couple, but none of the visible ones.
I'm in
That's
a.
like a hairdresser cutting her own hair.
Yeah.
I'm in a different boat where so I have like my music and my art, but I've worked corporate jobs. I have a master's degree. A lot of people probably don't think, they probably look at me and think.
In what?
Sustainable energy.
Cool.
Yeah. So
brain.
I'm I'm a nerdy brain. I love my science. But yeah, I've had like, corporate jobs, and I always feel like kind of out of place but thankfully, like you said, Mark, times are changing. I feel like
for sure.
tattoos and body mods are getting more acceptable.
Yep.
And yeah, that's the way it should be, because you shouldn't judge people by how they look on the outside.
That's it. I dig that. Okay. So you have something?
No, go ahead.
All right. So here's one of the things. One of the things I do at the end of every show, I have quotes that I do.
Ooh,
all right.
I like quotes.
And we're gonna go right down to the very end. But here's these quotes that I do at the end of every show. So dig these. The first one says, "You'll stop worrying what other people think of you when you realize how seldom they do." Yeah,
it's true.
That's good.
Yeah. This one says, "Never blame someone else for the road you're on. That's your own asphalt." That's your own asphalt.
That's a good one. I like
Yeah. This one, I like this one. Sometimes I wonder what happened to the people I gave directions to.
Oh, I used to give people wrong directions on purpose all the time.
Yeah, right? This one says, "There's simply no polite way to tell people they've dedicated their lives to an illusion."
Well, I'm not going to open the can on that one.
Nope.
That's a good one.
This one.
Y'all want to know my favorite quote?
Well, hold on. This one says, "The only thing flat earthers fear is sphere itself."
Wordplay. Love wordplay.
And the last one says, "I don't always roll a joint, but when I do, it's my ankle."
That's me.
Yeah.
That's me.
And those are my quotes.
That's fantastic. Scott, what's yours?
Oh, mine is, "You can get lost in the sauce, but without the sauce, you are lost."
There you go. I dig that too.
Profound.
Okay, so we are literally right down to it. So does anybody have anything that they want to say here at the end of the show?
Nope.
Noelle, you got anything?
No.
No.
Either one of you?
I would,
Where can we see you next?
oh gosh, what day is it? We are doing a charity event for an organization called Sebastian Jude Scott Foundation. We're basically playing to raise support for families impacted by pediatric cancer.
Nice.
So basically, just follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. You can also, if you're familiar with the website, bandsintown.com, just search Ernestine Black. We are on there, and you can subscribe and get notifications about when and where we're playing next. That's the best way. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, I don't have time to say what I normally say, but I will say, Sarah, Scott, Tyler, Noelle, thank you so much. Ernestine Black, this was phenomenal. I dug it. It was our first time. Thank you so much. It was an experience, and someday we'll do it again.
Absolutely.
All right, folks, with the Marco Radio Happy Hour Show, we come to you every Friday evening, 6 to 8 p.m. right here on Radio St. Pete online and on Sunshine 96.7 FM, Radio St. Pete, where local music lives. We love speaking with you every Friday evening, and we look forward to speaking with you again next week. Here's a little In Spite of Ourselves by John Prine and Iris DeMent. Dig this. I'll see you next week.
She don't like her eggs all runny. She thinks crossing her legs is funny. She looks down her nose at money. She gets it on like the Easter bunny. She's my baby, I'm her honey. I'm never gonna let her go.
He ain't got laid in a month of Sundays. Caught him once and he was sniffing my undies. He ain't too sharp, but he gets things done. Drinks his beer like it's oxygen. But he's my baby and I'm his honey. I'm never gonna let him go.
In spite of ourselves, we'll end up sitting on a rainbow. Against all odds, honey, we're the big door prize. We're gonna spike our noses right off of our faces. There won't be nothing but big old hearts dancing in our eyes. She thinks all my jokes are corny. Convict movies and make her horny. She likes ketchup on her scrambled eggs. Swears like a sailor when she shaves her legs. She takes a licking and keeps on ticking. I'm never gonna let her go.
He's got more balls than a big brass monkey. He's whacked out weirdo and a love bug junkie. Sly as a fox, crazy as a loon. Payday comes and he's a howling at the moon. But he's my baby, I don't mean maybe. I'm never gonna let him go.
In spite of ourselves, we'll end up a sitting on a rainbow. Against all odds, honey, we're the big door prize. We're gonna spike our noses right off of our faces. There won't be nothing but big old hearts dancing in our eyes. In spite of ourselves, we'll end up a sitting on a rainbow. Against all odds, honey, we're the big door prize. We're gonna spike our noses right off of our faces. There won't be nothing but big old hearts dancing in our eyes. There won't be nothing but big old hearts dancing in our eyes. In spite of ourselves.